Welcome back to another episode of Quick Picks with the Geek. I am your host, Bro Power the Geek. All right, folks. Next up, we've got a light heavyweight scrap that feels less like matchmaking and more like a stress test for the octagon canvas. It's Julius Juicebox Walker versus Rafael Cerqueira. Buckle up, because this one might not last long, but it's probably going to be loud. Let's crack this juice box open. Julius Juicebox Walker coming in at minus 650 with a record of 6-1. Julius Walker is what happens when you take D1 wrestling energy, throw in some chaotic athleticism, and give it a name that sounds like your kid's favorite Capri Sun flavor. But don't let the nickname fool you. This juice box isn't sweet. He's dangerous. He fights like he's got 90 seconds to prove a point and only one speed. I already hit you. Why are you still conscious? Walker is a menace in the clinch. He'll body lock you, trip you, suplex you, or just double leg you into another area code. Once he gets you down, good luck. His ground and pound is nasty, his jiu-jitsu transitions are slick, and if you let him isolate an arm, he'll Kimura you into an early ice bath. 4 TKOs, 2 subs, 5 first-round finishes. This guy doesn't clock in for a full shift. He shows up, takes your soul, and punches out before the ring girls finish a lap. His fight against Niall Bartling showed just how versatile his grappling game is. That submission wasn't just technical, it was disrespectful, and he can scramble, adapt, and push a serious pace for a big guy. Striking, still a work in progress. He's got a strong 1-2, and he's definitely got power, but he hasn't spent a lot of time striking in actual fights. That's not necessarily a red flag, but if you're wondering what happens when someone forces him into a kickboxing match, well, so are we. That said, even in his lone loss, a split decision to Alonzo Menefield, he showed cardio, toughness, and the ability to keep the pressure on into deep waters. If that's your UFC debut and you're still looking like the better athlete in round 3, you're doing all right. Bottom line, Walker is athletic, explosive, and violent in all the right ways. Rafael Cerqueira coming in at plus 455 with a record of 11-2. Now on the other side, we've got Rafael Cerqueira. This guy is violence personified, 8 knockouts, 2 submissions, and only 1 fight in his pro career that didn't end inside the distance. If he smells weakness, he throws spinning stuff, liver kicks, and combos like he's got an achievement to unlock. Cerqueira's game is built around pressure and power. He's got a clean kicking game, and when he lets his hands go, he's genuinely dangerous. You don't want to stand in front of him early. In the regional scene, he looked like a human buzzsaw. And it's a Wile E. Coyote falling off a cliff-sized butt. He hasn't exactly looked great against UFC-level competition. He's been knocked out twice in a row in the first round, and both times it wasn't just caught with a shot. It was shut down like a pirated streaming site. His striking defense is 42%, and his hands drop in exchanges like he's holding invisible dumbbells. The man fights like his chin has insurance. Sure, he's got judo and jiu-jitsu in his back pocket, but we rarely see him go there. And with his cardio being untested in longer fights, it's hard to say whether he's got anything left after the first round. He's 6'3", and built like a dangerous problem, but if you touch that chin, it's night-night. Right now, he's a human highlight reel. He just doesn't always get to pick whose highlight it is. So, who wins? This is one of those matchups that makes you wonder, can Rafael land something nuclear before Julius ragdolls him into the underworld? If Cerqueira can keep this standing, stay calm, and actually set up his strikes instead of going full Beyblade mode, he's got the tools to make it interesting. His kicks are sneaky, his power is real, and he's got finishing instincts. If Walker gets a little too comfortable on the feet, Cerqueira could absolutely land something dumb and dramatic, but let's be honest, this feels like a tailor-made showcase for Julius Walker. He's the better wrestler, more composed under pressure, and already proven he can go deeper into fights. Cerqueira has shown a big red target on his chin, and when you're fighting a guy who lives in the clinch and on top of you, that's a terrifying flaw. Unless Rafael catches him early, this is Walker's fight to control. Official pick, Julius Walker via first-round TKO. There's just too much going wrong for Cerqueira to trust him in this matchup. Walker's wrestling is going to smother him, his ground and pound is going to punish him, and unless Rafael suddenly discovers defensive grappling and head movement in the locker room, he's getting finished, fast. Walker gets the takedown, lands hammers, and closes the show before anyone figures out how to pronounce Cerqueira correctly. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat when the next video drops. And don't be shy. leave a comment below and let me know who you got winning this fight. Let's see who really has the crystal ball around here. Until next time.